I'm fine.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV. I'm out here in Saudi Arabia, delighted to be joined by Andy Lee himself. Andy, we spoke a little bit off camera. I've spoke to Joseph, I've spoke to George Lockhart. I'm speaking to you. Man, I've never seen a team more confident than I have in your team with Joseph Parker right now. Where does confidence come from?
Confidence comes from belief and belief in the work that we've done. Joe's put in some hell of a, he's put in some very hard sessions, Joe. He's improved technically. You can see the physical shape he's in, but he's worked extremely hard with George, with myself, and that's how you get confidence. That's how you get belief, knowing that you've done the work.
When I spoke to Joe, I think it was Monday. Now I said to him, when I spoke to you out in Dublin, Andy, you basically said it's simple, stay away from the right hand. But you've got a game plan in your head because you're a technical boxing guy. You know what to do. I said that to Joseph. I said, Joe, Andy said it's simple, stay away from the right hand, and he agreed with you. He says, all I need to do is stay away from that right hand, land my own shots, and I can knock him out. Again, that's not the game plan, but is that how you see the fight going?
Yeah, but look, I've seen it a million times, these pre-fight narratives always turn themselves on their head, you know. Wallen has a good fast jab. He's tall and he's long and he can close the distance fast. So we just have to treat him like every other opponent, really. Any heavyweight can knock you out if they land with the right hand. So we've tailored our training for him. We know exactly what to do. We have a strategy, and we've worked on Joe's, not just focusing on what Wilder does, but improving Joe what he does. Mm-hmm. So with boxing, with any sport, especially at the top level, you never know. Like when these fights, they could go either way. Mm-hmm. So that's the beauty of it and the uncertainty of it. But all we can do is the best we can do. And we have done that. We've trained as hard as possible. We've prepared Joe, kept mentally and emotionally and physically. He's prepared as much as he can be. We kept him away from all of the media as much as possible, doing only what we have to do, and just keeping him happy. Playing poker, table tennis.
Is he good at table tennis?
He's actually quite good, yeah.
You know, during the lockdown time, like I was the king of table tennis in all the lockdown hotels. So if he wants a game, I'm more than happy to smoke him.
His brother John is actually the best of our team, but him and Joe go head to head.
Good stuff. Well, Andy, like I said to you, like I like boxing, I love boxing. I've got my pro license for a coach now, and I like all the ins and outs now. When I think I asked you this in Dublin, but when you look at Joe and Tyson Fury, they're very, very close. Now, there's no better person to speak to talk about Wilder and what he possesses inside the ring is Tyson Fury. Now, obviously, the game plan's got to be different. Joe's not 6'9", Joe's not 270 pounds, and that's where you come in because you're the coach. And I think it's intriguing for you as well because you need to come up with the game plan and the strategy different from Tyson's. And that being said, do you feel any pressure coming up with the game plan and the strategy to get Wilder out there?
I don't think pressure. It's a fight. You know, boxing is a very simple sport. Hit your opponent, don't get hit, and try to get a knockout. There's many ways to do that. It's the beauty of it. It's like a chess match, isn't it? You just watch the Queen's Gambit while I've been out here, so I'm all about the chess now. There's over 1 billion ways to win a chess match, and there's probably the same amount to win a fight. No, I think there's no pressure on Joe or on us, really. We're not expected to win. I think for the most part, a lot of people giving us a chance, and I give us a great chance. We're not in the fight. We're not going in there to lose. We're going in there to win it. If Joe Joe doesn't have to do anything special. Just do what he does, what he's been showing me in sparring. If he can do that, I think it'll be a long way to being successful. Like it'll be successful.
And obviously, Wilder's had less than around in 2 years. You know yourself as an ex-fighter. You know being active and being consistent is good for a fighter. Now, Deontay Wilder's had less than a round in 2 years, while Joe's had 3 fights this year alone, 2 knockouts as well, 2 very, very good knockouts this year. As boxing media, as fight fans, can we read too much into that? Is that going to play into Joe's hands, or is that going to play into Wilder's hands? How's that going to pan out?
It could be an issue, but it might not be an issue. The fighter himself won't know until he gets in there. You know, none of us know until he gets in there. one thing I know of from being active is it sharpens your instincts, and you do things automatically where you're slipping a punch, you're moving away, or you're throwing a punch, and you don't even think about it. The action is done, and then you think, oh, how did I do that? Oh, that was good. You actually sometimes you impress yourself. Oh, I missed that one. So activity is a big thing, and I think you saw that with Tyson in his fight with Ngannou. Activity is key to any sport.
And also there's a huge thing, obviously, with the activity type thing, but there's also the narrative of Wilder and Joshua this whole week. We all know that if they come through their fights, we might get to see it on March 9th, the Joshua versus Wilder. That's the fight that is probably the most exciting fight right now in boxing. A lot of fans want it, a lot of media want it, a lot of ex-pros like yourself want it. But with that narrative going ahead and Wilder and stuff like that, again, Joe's not only solely focused on Wilder. Wilder's going to have these questions about Joshua all this fight week as well. So does that play into Joe's hands a wee bit?
It might do as well. We don't know. But like interviews like this, Joe's only being asked about Wilder, or Wilder's being asked about Joe, and then maybe more about Joshua. But who knows what will happen in these fights? Like you said earlier, if they both lose, then they can still fight each other. And if one loses, they can still fight each other. It's still a great fight. This is top level boxing. There's not much between these guys.
If Joe beats Wilder, what's next for him? I mean, we know that if Otto Wallen beats Joshua, there's a rematch clause. What's next for Joe if he beats? If Otto Wallen beats Joshua, there's the rematch clause. So they're going to have to do the rematch. But for Joe, if he beats Wilder, have you thought about what's next?
We haven't thought about it. Christmas is next.
We just make Christmas, to be honest. We leave here Christmas Eve.
Joe doesn't make Christmas. He gets home Stephen's Day, we call it. Boxing Day, everybody else calls it. And he'll listen. The world opens up to him, and it's not only. It doesn't really matter what's next. It's just if he wins this one, enjoy the moment, and receive all that comes with it. Beating somebody like Deontay Wilder, the praise, the adulation, and the credit he's going to get.
Andy, how do you see the fight? In your mind's eye right now, you've probably envisioned this fight over and over again since it's been announced. How do you see the fight going?
Wilder will come out, he'll be jabbing up and down, jabbing up to the body, jabbing up to the head, and then he'll go for it. He'll go
that right hand.
Double jab, right hand. And it's quite easy to read. It's maybe it's not. You don't know until you're in there with somebody how easy it is to defend against, but you can see it coming.
I'll ask this then. Have you seen, as a coach, have you seen any nuances that Wilder does as he's about to throw the right hand that you can tell Joe and say, watch out for this little bit that he does to what? Then he's going to throw the right hand. Have you seen anything in Wilder as he's about to throw that right hand?
Well, no. He always triggers it with a jab, or he rarely leads with the right hand straight off the bat, or a feint and that right hand. He always kind of jabs to measure you first, and with that comes a big step, and he's fast with the step, so it might be hard to read because he'll walk at one pace and he'll jump at a different pace, so it might be hard to read for Joseph, for anybody. But yeah, that's what he does, and we know what we have to do. I'm not going to say anything too much about what our game plan is, but I was lying in bed the other day and I was just, like you say, replaying the fight or imagining the fight. And I came up with an idea, and I got to the gym that night and I said, the first thing I said to Joe, the more I think about this fight, we have to do this. And Joe said to me, I just thought the same thing in bed. So we had a moment, and we've committed to that moment. Whether it's right or wrong, we're going to live and die by it.
See, now I'm intrigued. Like I said to you, I like the nuances of boxing. I like studying boxing, not just hoping for a knockout. I like to see how fighters enter a ring.
I've envisioned myself sitting here with you after the fight and telling you about the plan, and telling you what we were going to do, and what you've just witnessed.
Listen, let's hope that happens then. Andy, 2 more questions. I'll ask one about Joshua and Otto Wallen, then I'll go back to the Parker's fight as well. Now, Joshua Wallen, obviously a tough fight. I know you're concentrating on Parker and Demi, but as a fight fan, you've got to look at that other fight and have your own opinion on it. So what is your opinion on that fight?
It can go either way, really. I think Wallen's very, very good opponent, very good fighter. For anybody, he'd be a test. I'd like to see AJ get back to those. Well, listen, he might be reaching new levels. I think his opponents have improved, and I know after a loss you're always cautious. You're always a little bit hesitant. But hopefully, he's 2 wins now. He got that out of his system. And from the looks of him around the place, he seems to be mean in business. Mm-hmm. I saw his interviews and just talking to him yesterday. So, listen, we all want to see the best AJ in boxing. That's great for the sport. But also, Otto Wallen is a great campaigner and will make a massive name for himself. So, like, Otto and Joe are in similar positions where they have big opportunities here to change their lives. So we can all respect that. We all root for the underdog.
One final one then, Andy, before I know Paddy Donovan's over there, he's stretching, you've probably got to do a little pad session. Your work never stops, Andy. I mean, I bet you when you retired from fighting, you're probably thinking, I want to sit down, relax, feet up and watch boxing for the rest of my life. But no, you've decided to become a trainer and it's probably harder work, is it?
Actually, coaching is... when you're the fighter, you just turn up for training every day and tell me what I'm doing. Yeah. You're led a lot of the time. And when you're the coach, you're the decision maker. And there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. But yeah, Paddy is preparing for a fight. He'll be fighting next year.
Limerick?
I'm not sure, but there'll be an announcement soon. Not Limerick, I don't think yet, but hopefully next year. And yeah, I love the coaching. I had a few years off after retirement, and it's good to get back into it.
Yeah, it's good to have you in the game still, Andy. One final one, like I said to you about the fight. We're gearing up to an explosive fight. The fans are going to tune in because they're going to expect fireworks. Can you guarantee fireworks?
Guaranteed fireworks.
Andy, thanks very much, mate, and I'll see you out there. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I'm fine.